All right. So we'll begin like we normally do with a little bit of a grounding process. So let's just, if you're not driving or doing anything outside in the world, feel free to close your eyes and join us in a quick grounding and prayer for the moment. Oh, hi. So just relax, get comfortable, take a couple slow breaths, allowing your mind just to slow down for a couple minutes here. The world moves so fast, and our mind even faster. And as you sit in this moment, deep breath in, letting it fill to all corners of your body. Let it out, and allow yourself to take a couple more slow, controlled breaths. Feel the energy reach your pinky toe all the way to the tip of your head. With each out breath, relaxing every part of you a little bit more. And as you take in this moment, relaxing into the here and now, slowing down, there is nothing you need to do right now. And the contemplation for this morning is, can God be reached directly? God indeed can be reached directly, for there is no distance between him and his Son. His awareness is in everyone's memory, and his word is written on everyone's heart. Yet this awareness and this memory can rise across the threshold of the unconscious only where all barriers to truth have been removed. In how many is this the case? Here then is the role of God's teacher. They too have not attained the necessary understanding as yet, but they have joined with others. This is what sets them apart from the world, and it is this that enables others to leave the world with them. Alone they are nothing, but in their joining is the power of God. In their joining is the power of God. And just let the spirit of those words fill you up this morning. Within the space of God's creation, there is no worrying that is necessary. There's no conflicts, no past, no future. There is an eternal now. Everything is always happening now. Transformation happens now. Decisions of yourself happens now. Decision to love happens now. And so time stands still here for each one of us, taking a break from the fast hustle and bustle of our world, and from the very depth of your heart, send out love, send out light, allowing it to fill yourself, fill the room, touching whoever is in the house with you, and it touches nature outside, the dogs, the birds, and people, strangers, not so strange, brothers and sisters, and to whoever is on your mind now. Let that love and light touch them, seeing only wholeness and divinity in everyone. Everything that the light touches becomes holy, or remembers its holiness. And don't forget to breathe and begin to return to your body. And coming back to this call, and take a couple more deep breaths as you allow yourself to come back as the music fades away. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start another Sunday morning miracles. Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning. Thank you for being a part of that grounding together. Our love shines and touches more people in the world. And for those of you guys that just joined, welcome to you too. Thank you for being here. Every single Sunday, for anybody that is new, I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat right now to be able to join us. Actually, I got a new link, alexlovely.com. Comment failed to post. One moment. There we go. Comment is pinned. If anybody would like to join us on these calls, you can go to alexlovely.com and just register for this call, which every single Wednesday and Sunday A Course in Miracles, guides us in our daily lives. How do we implement the teachings of the Course into our life so that we may find peace and happiness? So today is, or this weekend is Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend. We're celebrating work, the labor that we put into the tangible things we've gathered in our lives or have not gathered. And, you know, Labor Day is usually defined in the physical labor, the tangible work that we do in our daily lives, and we honor those. Of course, today is a day to honor all the work that you've put in, all the seeds you've sowed, right, and all the reaping that you will enjoy. So yes, we celebrate physical labor, but also let's not forget to celebrate spiritual labor. Whether you know it or not, the spiritual labor, the work is always happening. It may rest deep in your unconsciousness, but there is a part of you that is calling for divinity. The holiness in you is looking and working to help you remove the blockages to your awareness of holiness and love in this world. We cannot escape it. We can choose not to see it, but it does not mean it's not there, and it does not mean that it is not happening. Oftentimes, we don't see the physical connecting to the spiritual. Some of us do. Some of us may go too far on the other end also. Make so much meaning of everything. But our physical world reflects internal spiritual work that's happening. And if we have the awareness and the willingness to look, everything is happening. The work is on the inside. Projection makes perception. What we perceive in the world isn't really the world. And we're going to make distinctions by using lowercase world and capital world. So lowercase world is this world that we think we live in that doesn't actually exist. We are creating it every day, right? I think science says that we block out 96% of our senses when we walk out throughout the day. Imagine we're able to absorb everything. We'll be like Spider-Man. Maybe even Spider-Man's like a little, maybe he's got like, 80% that he's blocking out and absorbing 20, right? He can hear the sounds everywhere and everything is heightened. Okay, cool. But we still need to block out a lot that's going on. And so hence there's learning that's happening. Or we can call it remembering that's happening. And what are we remembering? See, we recognize things, right? We can recognize the truth. We recognize good energy. We recognize people with good vibes. Recognizing implies that we've known before. So is it learning or is it remembering? Remembering that we've always known. There's no accidents that anybody is energetically connected and joined onto this call here today. There are no accidents. Whoever is witnessing this moment, this conversation right here. When we begin to realize that nothing is ever happening by accident, we start to see that capital world, that there is an intelligence, or maybe we'll call it God or the universe, whatever you want to call it. But there is a universal intelligence that is in the works. And if we ever doubt that, just go to nature. Go to nature and see how miraculous everything is and how it's all created. You simply have to just look at nature, right? The perfection of how nature has its yin and yang, everything flowing effortlessly into one another. Lately, I've been watching Bug Wars. Bug Wars. So bugs fight each other. It's insane, first of all, the type of technology that every single bug has to defend themselves, to hunt, and that there is no one that is superior than the other. I thought praying mantises would beat everything. But there are times that they slip also, and some grasshopper beats the praying mantis. It's crazy. But the technology that each insect has is insane. It's to like perfection. Like, who thought about of that? We can say it's evolution in science, but even behind evolution in science, there is intelligence that is happening. When a seed, Marion Williamson says that when a seed is planted into the ground, it does not need to be told what to do. It does what it was created to do. Flowers bloom. Nobody needs to tell it what to do. It knows what to do effortlessly. Right? Flowers blossom. So for us, how do we blossom? We put so much thinking into blossoming. Nothing needs to be, we don't need to be told what to do. And this is the whole being part of it that people forget, that being. Right? In transformation, we call it be, do, have. I think a lot of people are adapting onto that now, realizing that being is important. Being generates. It's not the doing. We can do all day and still end up broke. We can do all day and our families still don't feel love from us. It's not the doing. It's not even the amount of doing that you do. See, we are so confused that we make it the amount of what we do represents the significance of what we do. That's how insane we are. It's the quality in what we do. It's the being behind what we do. And so we mentioned in the meditation earlier about the now, today, this moment. What are you choosing to step into? What are you choosing to leave behind? And here's the funny thing. It doesn't matter what you choose. You're going to blossom into that flower either way. You can resist, you can fight it. All that does is create worry and conflict in this moment, but it doesn't even matter. The blossoming still happens. See, imagine we are like the flower blossoming or the spore, whatever it is. And it's on its way to blossom. The changing of the season, it's got rain and now it's sun, it's in the springtime and we're time to blossom. You can't help it but blossom. A flower cannot choose, I will not blossom, I will not bloom. It cannot choose that. What it can choose, oh man, this is another good analogy that I need to write down. What it can choose is to worry on its way to blossoming. That's what it can choose. But it cannot choose whether it's going to bloom or not. A sunflower seed will sprout or turn into a sunflower. Now, it may have conflicts along the way. Oh, I'm not as pretty as the rose. Wow, this analogy is going it's great. Hold on one second. Actually, I should probably finish it and then I'll write it down. if I can, now that it's gone. What was I just talking about? A sunflower. Yes. Yes. So it can have conflicts along the way because it's comparing itself. The sunflower does not have as much money or does not grow in as rich of a soil, does not live in a nice enough pot, does not drive a nice enough car as some other flowers. But it cannot rewrite its curriculum. Its curriculum is going to be a sunflower. Every one of us is blooming and growing and turning into something. Again, the only choice that we have is the conflict that we create on the way there. So, what are we talking about here? We're talking about faith. We're talking about finding peace in our growth, in our journey. That's the only thing that matters. See, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters because we're going to bloom into the flower that we're meant to bloom into. That's happening. You can fight it. You can get upset. You can yell at your kids. You can do drugs. You can do whatever, but it does not matter. Your conflict has nothing to do with your destiny. Oh man, that is so good too. Shit. One sec. I need to write some of these things down. So, please, somebody feel free to share. Man, it sounds like a Tony Robbins or like a Jim Rohn quote right here. Let's go. Your conflict. What was it? Your conflict has
Nothing to do with your destiny.
Wow. This is a good one. That was a really good one. So, while I'm writing this down, feel free to chime in. What do you think and what are you hearing from that? And for yourself, are you challenging your own path? Are you not willing to step into your power, your calling?
I think one big word that you hit on that kind of brings it all together is surrender. And
Yeah.
to surrender to it, we are like the seed. We already know how to grow. We can fight it. We can compare our pot to someone else's pot, our soil. And we can do all these things that go against the surrender that in turn just make it that much harder for ourselves and not as enjoyable, not as grounded, and take away from us from what we do have. And I think the surrendering and knowing we're right where we need to be, staying grounded in the moment, and letting ourselves bloom or blossom throughout the journey is so important. That we get lost and stuck of I'm not blossoming fast enough. It's not going the way I think it should go, and all the comparing and all that. So it comes back to the seed, and the seed knows what to do. The seed can lay dormant in soil for years, and just the right time, it'll sprout.
Mm-hmm.
When it's right, when the time is right, and it'll know what to do. So just those little key aspects of surrendering and knowing we know what to do, and we're like the seed, are pretty eye-opening.
Yeah. And that is why peace is the most important thing that we seek in our life. It's the returning our minds to what is. There's no conflict that is necessary for you. It's written, you know.
Yeah. What came up for me is that
You froze.
Animal kingdom is our power of choice to be able to choose. Like you said, the seed cannot choose whether it's going to be a sunflower or a rose. It's already the DNA is in the seed already, and that power of choice is it's human beings' greatest blessing and its biggest curse at the same time. Because it is because we have the choice to we had that ability to choose, but most of the times we we get so conflicted with the choices that we lose our way where the seed just naturally just turns into what it's supposed to turn into, evolves into what it has to turn into. So that's what came up for me is our choice, our ability to choose is our biggest blessing and our biggest curse.
Mm-hmm. So think about all the rules and all the things that we've made up in this world that is really just nothing. All of your, I'm going to call it this, your illusions of right and wrong. All the judgments that we have was influenced by something else, not of God, but of man, of ego. Everything of this world that you can hold as valuable is made up. Mm-hmm. How far do you want to go in this conversation? Is it just something to do with financials? Is it little things of being honest and dishonest? Is it murder? Is it marriages? What else can we make up? It's all of this world, though. We make up rules and things that we think is the truth, and we are greatly influenced by those things of what's right and what's wrong. But we are capable of changing those thoughts all the time. Right? Like we care not about insects killing each other in the most brutal ways possible. I was watching Bug Wars. I'm like, this is ridiculous. If it was humans on humans like this, like
some really weird shit, Alex, right?
I'm just fascinated by everything.
I hope I never run into that program even by mistake, all right? Because I'll be totally skeeved out.
Dude, Bug Wars is the most interesting thing that I see on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type in Bug Wars. Ants usually beat everything because ants roll in numbers. So, bam. Together, we're stronger. Right? So, yeah, we make up a whole bunch of things in this world. But we have no choice in the curriculum. See, the course says free will does not mean that you can determine the curriculum. You have no choice in that. The only free will that you have is in what you're willing to take in at a given time. How open will you allow your mind or your heart to be? What illusions will you allow to run your life? That's the only free will you have. If you are the seed of a sunflower, you are growing into a sunflower. It does not matter how much you bitch and moan and this and that. You're not turning into a rose. So I'm talking about flowers here, but we all know where in our life we do that. We're always trying to compare to something else, trying to be something else. And we diminish our own self-worth through it. We diminish what God has created us to be through it. We diminish the journey that we are on, that we're meant to have so that we can become who we're meant to become. We diminish the whole journey. That's insanity. Insanity is to fight something that is the truth and make up a whole bunch of other things. I think there's another definition for insanity, but it's along the lines of that, right? You just keep doing it. Yeah, you just keep doing it, thinking you're gonna become a rose, and you're like, shit, I'm still a sunflower. And you just keep doing it over and over again. Yeah, it's insanity, and that is the ego. The ego says, stay insane, stay in just enough pain that you just live through life carrying this pain with you. It's like the walking with the rock in the shoe. You walk on it long enough, you tolerate the pain, but you don't want it to go anywhere because it's familiar. That's a oh shit, I'm still a sunflower. Oh my god, that's great. I love that. Make it. Do it. I'll buy one. That's actually a really great shirt. It's only really great because we've just made up a whole story around it and we all get it. Somebody else is going to make up another story. They're like, oh, yeah, I love sunflowers because we grew up with sunflowers. My mom always put sunflowers. And then other people are like, oh, sunflowers obnoxious. They're huge and they take up the whole field. And I don't know, making up a bunch of shit. Anyways.
Yo, Natalia, I have a t-shirt price. Get a t-shirt and get the emblem and we can put it on, slap it on a t-shirt.
Wow, there we go. You guys got a whole business now. Probably make $1 million out of it if you wanted to. So, okay, that's the opening. How we got there, I don't know. It wasn't up to us. But we were talking about Labor Day weekend, right? We're defining the physical. We're kind of defining the spiritual. I think through that little analogy we might have, I got a little more clarity myself around it. But what is the journey of A Course in Miracles? Right? Because everything I teach, I'm really trying to bring the principles and the teachings of A Course in Miracles into our lives so that we may surrender a little more. Like we don't fight as much. We're always growing into that, but we can consciously grow. There's an article a while ago. I don't remember where I read it or where it was, but it was called Who's Minding the Mind? That I remember. There are a lot of things that happen to us unconsciously that we are learning. And our consciousness spits the unconscious back out. So I think one of the examples in there was something along the lines of, oh man. Give me a second. I'm trying to put the story together in my head. People attempt to atone for something bad they did by using hand sanitizers, and they don't even know that they think that they're atoning for something because they want cleansing, and they have a false belief that they've atoned for something and does not do some charitable or some work after or help somebody after. Like there's a part of our mind that is always trying to atone for a sin. And we often try to cover it with some other good deed when things have nothing to do with each other. So like, let's say we were mean to somebody. We try to atone for it by being nice to somebody else. And then we wash ourselves. We have a false sense that we washed ourselves of the sin. And then we're off to do something else again. So this whole there's an unconsciousness that is being built in there. Except that entire path, that false washing of the sin, cleansing of the sin, is actually adding on to the guilt that we have. We've just kind of shoved it away. We're very good at shoving things away until it explodes. And then we will do something that it's like a good deed, and we're like, oh shit, I atoned for all of that. Thank God. But all we did was shove it down even more. And the Course tells us every time that it comes back for us, because we didn't learn it the first time, we didn't actually cleanse it, we didn't actually forgive it. We did not do the forgiveness, we just shoved it down. Now it becomes the foundation of all of our actions. It becomes the subconscious that we operate out of, and we don't even know. We don't even know how we got there. So bringing the teachings and the principles of Course in Miracles in our lives is to just shed a little bit of light. We're putting light, shining light onto where there was once darkness. Once we shoved whatever we shoved into the corners of the deepest parts of ourselves, we allow ourselves to shine the light in. And the way that we shine the light into that room is to remove the judgment about ourselves and about others. It's like, man, I've been shoving so much stuff in my attic for so long, I don't even want to go there. If I go in my attic, I'm just gonna have a nervous breakdown. Right? I'm just gonna be it's too cluttered. I just shove things in there and I don't look at it anymore. But then once we actually clean that out and we realize, man, it's actually not that bad. Once it's all cleaned out, we're like, oh, I feel lighter. I feel better. We don't even know why. Just some random clutter in the attic. Yeah. And it paralyzes us. And where it paralyzes us in one place will transfer and touch other areas. Okay, so A Course in Miracles has been my guiding principle, guiding teachings in my life. I've not found something as powerful for me. And I'm not saying A Course in Miracles is the way, it's a way. But if you go down any path long enough, it doesn't matter what the way is or what a way is for you, it will become the way. You study martial arts long enough, and it becomes A Course in Miracles. You study the Bible long enough, and it becomes A Course in Miracles. You study the Quran. You study, Eastern teachings. Tao Te Ching. You speak all of it. See, Tao means the way in Mandarin. The way, or the road, or the highway, but the way, So everything can be the way. There is no right way or wrong way. It's just, will you be a student? Jim Rohn makes a big distinction about student and follower. Always be a student. You learn. Like if you hear, my wife always watching and reading TikTok things about health and stuff. And one day she has one truth, and then the next day realizing that was bogus, and now she's got another truth. And then she just keeps finding more truths. And so right now she's like, my health isn't good because I need to be on a full carnivore diet. I can only eat meat, no greens, nothing. I'm like, wow, that sounds like the truth right there, but go for it. But that's the power of our belief. We can believe the most nonsense things to be the truth. So don't believe our own insane beliefs. See, the Course says, don't trust in the power of yourself. Trust in the power of the capital self. The self that is connected to all selves. There is only one self, one son of God, one child of God. Believe in that power, but not your individualized lowercase self. And I love how the Course writes everything in that way. You can see when it's talking about the ego in you, it uses lowercase, and when it talks about the holiness or the oneness of everything, it uses a capital letter. So the mind, there's a lowercase mind, capital mind. There's a lowercase world, capital world. Self. So, yeah. And today, or this weekend, we can celebrate the spiritual work that we've been doing. Some of you guys have been on these calls for so long. And I acknowledge you for that, because I don't know if every call is going to bring life-changing moments, but some may. That's why you're here. That's why you keep showing up. That's why I keep showing up. Because some days are just so profound. And my whole life changes because of it. That's why we show up to the things that we know are good for us. We go to church, or we go to, to conferences and seminars and ceremonies and all these things, because some may change our life forever. The expectations of all will creates that conflict. How about one will someday, and have the patience and the persistence for that? That's faith right there. We all have faith. We just need to cultivate it more. Right? The fact that we go out and drive our cars requires tremendous faith. Tremendous faith that other people know how to drive. That nobody's going to plow right into me. We have faith that everybody will follow the rules, or at least most people will. This is the powerful. Right now, this will put all of your problems to rest about the world, about things that have that the government, environmental stuff, your investments. Most people will. That's all you got. Most people will pay the rents. Most people in the government will do the right things. Most wealthy people will do the right things. Most people will recycle. Most people will have compassion. Most people will do the things necessary for more good to show up. Most people will. But we hyper focus on the specific couple individualized events in which it challenges that. And we make that the truth. Man, the one time that happened, that one time we think about it so much that it becomes always. This is a good speech topic. One time becoming always. The becoming of always and nevers.
Write that shit down.
I don't think I can write it down in a way that I will understand what I'm going to say later. It's going to be one of those notes. I feel like it requires something long. But you know what? Maybe I will start a ChatGPT to remember all the things. So let's say to ChatGPT, hi, I would like you to really get to know my A Course in Miracles calls. I will enter notes and phrases and quotes from the call. Let's see what it says. See, AI is so smart. You just got to train it.
You have ChatGPT on this call right now, right?
No, I don't. I've always talked about using it. So let's see if we can. Oh, I'm just gonna enter all the little stories into it, so that way I don't have to find it again.
Yeah, enter all those little clips and then have it put it all together into one story.
And then I will create a bot, a Q&A bot. Anytime anybody's got any questions about the course, about me, just ask my bot. Yes, I found a way to replace myself.
I can tell you're getting obsessed with this chat GPT, right? Just like video games.
I mean, Masha turned me on to it. So if you guys don't know, we have an amazing community on Mighty Networks that my friend Masha runs called Quantum AI. And she's been very active on there, posting a lot of things. I've actually recently used her recent suggestion to create a presentation using tome.ai. So pretty cool. Okay, where are we? We got a little sidetracked, but I really like this putting this information here. So what was I gonna say? What was I putting in there? I'm gonna put this first one in here. Your conflict has nothing to do with your destiny.
Were we saying something like one time becomes always, or something like that? One time something happens one time in your mind, it always happens. Something like that.
Well, I put that in there, and then now ChatGPT is going to try and help me unpack it. Let's see what it says, actually. So it gave me two responses. Which response do you prefer? That's a profound statement. Oh, thank you very much. Your conflict has nothing to do with your destiny, touches upon several deep concepts that can be explored further. Okay, tell me more. Separation of internal structures from larger struggles from larger purpose. At the core, this statement suggests that the challenges, doubts, and inner conflicts we experience are not determinative of our ultimate path or destiny. These struggles are temporary and are not the measure of what we are meant to become or achieve. Are you serious? It just said what I said in a much more elegant way. See?
Wow. With one sentence, it got it.
I know. With one sentence, it knew what I was saying. And that's one of a whole bunch of results. So let's see. The other one that response to was separation between conflict and destiny. The quote suggests that the challenges, struggles, and conflicts we face in life are distinct from our ultimate purpose or destiny. It means that the daily ups and downs, no matter how intense, do not define where we are ultimately headed. Man, that's so good too. And then it says destiny. No, destiny is immutable. The phrase can also suggest that destiny, however way one conceives it, is something fixed and unalterable. No matter the conflict or choices made in life, one's destiny remains unchanged. This is great. And then it goes into the other side. The transience of conflict. Conflict in many forms is temporary. Even if it feels prolonged or insurmountable, it's but a blip in the grand scheme of our existence. Destiny, on the other hand, speaks to a greater, more long-term trajectory or purpose. Well, good job, ChatGPT. Select a response.
Put in there something like why one time or sometimes becomes always in our mind, something like that.
I am working on a speech called One Time Becoming Always and Never. Oh man, how did our call just turn into let's play with ChatGPT? Because AI is smarter.
Take on their own life.
The power of one time. So pose the question: have you ever thought about how one moment in time can become always in your memory and never in your future? Wow. The power of begin with your story and start the body is the power of one time. Discuss the weight of a single moment can carry. Reference scientific moments like the discovery of penicillin that led to massive shifts in our world. Mention personal moments, a single conversation that led to a lifelong friendship, a split-second decision that changed the course of one's life, and then one time becoming always. Discuss how certain moments get replayed in our minds and our societies over and over again. Explain the psychology of memory. Why do some moments stick with us forever? Explore the idea of legacy. How does one moment lead to an eternal legacy for better or for worse? This is insane. One time becoming never. This can be both positive and negative. For example, a single act of kindness can ensure that someone never feels alone again. Conversely, a single betrayal can mean someone never trusts again. Explore missed opportunities and the what ifs that haunt people. Discuss the idea of choice, how a decision is made at one point can close off paths forever. In conclusion, reflect on the duality of moments, how they are fleeting, yet their consequences can be eternal. Encourage the audience to be mindful of the power of their actions and decisions that their decisions hold. Every moment has a potential to be one time that changes everything. Wow, it took like a whole different direction, but I like it. So there you go, guys.
You have it recorded there, right? So you have all these answers already.
So it will remember forever. And as I choose, it starts to understand what I like better. And later on.
It definitely becomes always for ChatGPT.
Yeah. One time I used ChatGPT, now I always use ChatGPT.
I think the one time forever remembering it just goes back to emotional cues. The stronger that emotion, the more you're gonna realize that one time.
Mm-hmm. And also, but here's the thing. That emotional cue comes from an unconscious part of us that we've collected. So was it even ours in the first place? It was influenced by a story and by an experience, by something else before that even gives us that emotional cue. Yeah. So that is why the identity of all of us is an idea to be forgiven. We let go of the identity we've created of ourselves. I need to be this. I need to be that. I am a mother. I am a good mother. I'm a bad mother. I'm a good brother, a bad brother. We just make up all that shit constantly. So, yeah, I think ChatGPT can, if I really focus, I could probably get my book that I want to write out in one day with ChatGPT. So remember I wanted to make use of all those metaphors that we came up with in here, and each chapter would just be one of those. That'd be a badass book. It's going to be written by me and ChatGPT. It'd be me and AI. I should buy the domain name alex.ai. Is that available? Alex.ai. But I don't know. GoDaddy?
Definitely GoDaddy is the start place.
Domain is taken. Dang it. Jason.ai. Domain is taken. Natalia. No, it's not. I just put Alex. Ooh, Natalia.ai is not taken. Except it's $20,000.
Anything with AI is freaking in that price range.
Lyra.ai is available for only $60. Boom.
Buy it.
Oh.
Man, I'm cheap.
All right. Well, everyone else's name is taken. Oh, okay.
Lovely AI is taken?
No, it's not. I'm sure I can get it for $60. Okay, but I gotta chill. I've been buying so many domain names. It's ridiculous. Okay, but we did get a good name for our Mighty Networks community, legends.community. Pretty good. Yeah. Legends.community. Check it out, y'all. Okay, where are we? We have gone off topic. But it's been engaging, so it's good. It's great.
We're blooming on other fronts.
Okay, there's a quote. Yeah.
Over the world, even our ACIM conversations.
Yeah. I mean, there is yes, it's available, Fraser. It's available for $60 also. So there's a quote that I really love in the course. It's in chapter 10-ish, somewhere there. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. In the Bible, I believe somewhere it says that seek, nice sunglasses. Seek and the doors shall open for you. See, like the finding, like we're seeking for the information, we're seeking for the experience of love. Seek and you shall find. So if you want only love, you will see nothing else. See, that's a really powerful quote right there, because think about when you don't see only love, that means love isn't only what you want. We all believe in love, but we don't believe in love only. We believe there's love and a whole list of other things. A whole list of bullshits. So, if today can't remember anything that was said on the call, remember that, am I in love only right now? Like, do I only want to see love? Do I only want to experience love? Your results will show you what you were committed to, what you wanted. Results are neutral. You don't need to make up anything about it. The only thing that results do is it points back to what you were committed to before. So it's a neutral thing. However, what happens is we become our results, then we take our results and make it mean something about ourselves, and then we use it and we weaponize that guilt and attack others. And before you know it, we have no idea where it all started. See that whole unconscious part? We're operating unconsciously because we were affected by something that we weren't conscious in the first place. Yeah. Results are neutral. It's a feedback. It's a feedback for what we were committed to. Right? The ChatGPT said it was a bleep, a blip, a beep. Oh, it's a beep. The training says a beep. Yeah. So when you want only love, you will see nothing else. Notice for the rest of the day, is it only love that you see, or do you have those unworthy conversations? Do you attack yourself? Do you judge your past? Do you judge the way you've been a father? Do you judge the way you've been a brother, a mother, a son, whatever? Are you going around judging others? Somebody is driving and they're like, you're like, oh, they don't know how to drive. Let me make sure they know that I know that they don't know how to drive. That's how crazy we are. This is like insane. Let me act out in the most dramatic way so that they know that I know they don't. It's crazy. Nobody cares that much. Okay, so that's the spiritual labor. Let's Labor Day weekend. Let's see if we can do the spiritual work of seeing love only. See, love is not something that can be taught or even really seen. It can be experienced. You experience love through your sight, through your hearing, through your feels, through all of that. But it's an experience that happens. You can hear certain music and it can be love. You can see certain things and it can be love. See, it's how we choose to see it. I was listening to Jim Rohn about something that he said. He's like, leaders lead from the front. Then I'm like, wait, that conflicts with other saying that leaders lead from the back. Well, which is it? Should I be leading from the back or from the front? Right? So what's the truth here? And this is why you want to be a student, not a teacher. A student will say, oh, what is it like to lead from the front? Then what is it like to lead from the back? Either way, a leader can lead from anywhere because it isn't about the leader. It's about who the leaders are serving. I heard an amazing quote at the conference. Leaders bring certainty to uncertain situations. I think. I think. I might have made up that part of it. I might have butchered it, but I think that's what I heard. Okay, and it worked out. It sounded really good. Leaders bring certainty to uncertain situations. Leaders bring love to loveless situations. Leaders see the holiness in somebody when they don't see it themselves. That's how you heal people. So there is no front, back, side. You just lead. You're a student of being a leader. But if you're a follower of being a leader, you would say, well, I guess I lead from the front because this book says to lead from the front. And then the next moment, you're like, well, I'll lead from the back because they said to lead from the back. So you're really not leading anything. You're just following a leader that is leading from the back and the leader that's leading from the front. So you're just following. But being a student is to make that discernment yourself and to recognize beyond the word leader itself, beyond the physical. See, words are physical. Words are limited. I don't even know how to enter this into ChatGPT for it to remember this. It needs to like record what I'm saying. And then is there a thing that does that? Recording and then adding it to the file.
What about asking it how do leaders lead?
Well, I think what I'm going to do, ask Masha. I think what I'm going to do is because this goes on to YouTube and then it has, it transcribes. I'm just going to take the entire transcription of the call and just put it in there. Hopefully it understands. Okay. So this has been a pretty interesting call. It's a little bit different from the rest of our calls. It's been kind of fun where there's a lot of engagement. So what else? Let's just continue and lean more into that. Anybody want to share anything about what's on your mind? What challenges you may have? What questions you may have?
I'll share.
Sure.
3 years ago, I read Anthony DeMello's awareness book. I could not understand that book. So I started reading it again a couple weeks ago. Then I now start to understand what is he talking about. He's actually pretty good as he puts it in his own words. He's saying that we are assholes. I'm an asshole. You're an asshole. Everyone is an ass because we operate in this conditioning that we have, right? We're not aware. And then he has a chapter in the book where you have to practice self-observation. And there's 4 steps to the self-observation. He said step 1 is know that there's negativity inside of you. Always. That's the one that he wants you to observe. And then the negativity, number 2, the negativity inside of you is not reality, which is not caused by the outside. It's in you. You have to know that, right? And then he said, just keep on working on that one. Understand that, and then don't identify with that negativity. That it is I. That is not the I. That could be the me, but observe that all the time. That's what he wants you to work on. And then the fourth step is, he said, there is nothing that needs to change outside. It's you that you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
That you need to understand. That's what he said. So I'm practicing that. And it's, at one point it was kind of hard for me to grasp that idea of self-observation, right? How do I do that, right? So I guess every day I would just try and listen. And I listen to that crazy monkey mind, right? And then I go, oh, I think that's what he's talking about, right? So that's what I'm doing. I thought I wanted to share. It's a really good book now to me because I understand what he's talking about. Okay? So I just wanted to share that. And just one last thing. I'm doing the daily work on the of course of the miracle, and I just wanted to read this part, lesson 236, which was yesterday. Is my lesson.
Wow.
And it has a lot to do with the practice that I'm doing. It says, I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. I have a kingdom I must rule. At times, it does not seem I am its king at all. It seems to triumph over me and tell me what to think and what to do and feel. And yet, it has been given me to serve whatever purpose I perceive in it. My mind can only serve. Today, I give its service to the Holy Spirit to employ as he sees fit. I thus direct my mind, which I alone can rule, and thus I set it free to do the will of God. Father, my mind is open to your thoughts and closed today to every thought but yours. I rule my mind and offer it to you. Accept my gift, for it is yours to me. That's it.
Yay.
I wanted to share that. I thought it was like, oh my God, that was good. Like, again, I labeled it though.
But you're constantly in this observation mode, and it's amazing because You've been doing the work also. I mean, so you're on lesson 236 today, which is today the 236th day of the year?
Yes. Yesterday was my 236th of the year
Wow.
when I started. Yes.
Awesome. So for those of you guys that don't know, A Course in Miracles has a text, a workbook, which has 365 lessons for 365 days. I've never done a lesson a day in the 6-7 years that I've been doing the course, but time is also an illusion, right? But to be able to do that is high discipline. And so you're creating results, you're getting understanding, you're creating peace and love in your life, which is because you're taking action too. See, there is action to take, but the need of the action is not necessary. But you take action so that you can start to bring that awareness every day, at least for a couple moments throughout the day for you. Because the rest of the day, I mean, we got 24 hours. We spent such a little tiny amount of time to even get present to the here and now. Such a little time. And if we do, we're like, cell phone, task, text this person, scroll Instagram. Like, we can't even slow ourselves down just for a couple minutes. So the fact that we're here, we're doing twice a week right now, but for an hour and a half that we're just here doing this is amazing. Now, I invite people to be doing this with full presence, but, we'll take the second best, which is you could be doing two things at once and passively letting this come to you. But passive learning, it'll come. I don't know which one is better, but I know when you actively go for something, you will seek what you're looking for. You will find what you're looking for. The finding is reserved for the people that seek, because all the information is there. It's not that we don't have it. It's just it's been there. All right. Go ahead, Javier. Wait. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
No. Okay.
Just one last thing.
Nice.
Just to hop on that, what you said, you will find what you are looking for. So, of course, with Miracle, I have asked for this last Christmas as a gift, right? And I started to read it. I'm like, oh boy, this is so hard. Then sometime I had met you. I started joining. I met you, and then Rochelle posted, join Alex for A Course in Miracles. I go, oh my God, the guy is going to teach me A Course in Miracles, right? So anyway, that's how I joined it in January. I started joining it in January, and it just helped me along the way. So anyways,
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Yeah, you've been
Thank you.
you've been an amazing student of the course and teacher too, because just by you showing up, like, there is a lot of teaching moments that happen. You may not even be aware of it.
What I want to manifest is some of your discipline there, all right?
Yeah, seriously. Lyra's got some serious discipline. She's like the only person to finish the 40-day abundance day challenge. Like, the only person. I don't think anybody else did it. I did it to day 17. You did do it. Okay, so
the first run, right? Lyra did the first one. I did about 3 or 4. I did my fourth one.
yeah, Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is a student of the course. So he talks about course. Yeah, he talks about Course in Miracles all the time. So check this out. This book has changed my life drastically. Everybody that joins Legends, I send this book to them. It's a very small book. Look at it. It's on a little stand in the back. And there is a 40-day abundance day challenge in here. Literally, for 40 days, you got to take 15 minutes out. If you can even take 15 minutes out, you're recognizing the abundance of time that you have. But we can't even do that. I didn't even finish it when we had our team go through it. We did it for like months. I got to like 17 days straight, and then I lost it. Every time you skip it, you got to restart. And you got to do it for 40 days straight. and it changed my life. I was in a very down low area of my life at one point, and I did it. So I wanted to touch others as well. Go ahead, Javier.
Hey, thank you very much for the time. Hey, Alex, I have like two quick questions,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be super quick. I first would wanna like compliment what the previous lady said,
Lyra,
and
yeah.
Lyra, yes, thank you so much. You know, this is something because I'm psychologist, so I have to study a lot of statistics. And something that they discover is that when you have like this like negative thoughts, it's because the mind needs to give you a worst case scenario for you to survive. So I believe that it makes sense if God created because God wants you to be aware that something that can happen. But it doesn't mean that you have to believe it. He just said, hey, this can happen, but that's it, you know. So I understand that people will always have a bad thought because it's a worst case scenario that we have installed for us not to die. So just to tell you that that's something really normal. So I believe that if someone is suffering from having bad thoughts, it shouldn't be like speaking like something evil, but it's like a compulsive warning of the mind. And probably work with that, you know, instead of like saying, "Oh my God, I have so much bad thoughts. Like, this is horrible," you know. So it's
Yeah.
just a compliment. And the other thing is, you just answered it, so it's super funny because you said, no, if you look for it, you will find it. So, but the question was going to be, is there any advice that you or the course in miracles or anyone else have there, have there to, for example, to help with this statement that you said today, like, if you are seeking love, this is what you will get back. So I would like if any of you guys or you Alex, first place have any like advice to like to connect with the love feeling. You know, like that you say this is love. This is not like I wanna look cool or I want this from this person, but I really feel love. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I'm asking this is because I had an experience with some weed once. I don't recommend anyone to do it, but that's the experience that I had. And then I remember that the intense love was so big that night. It was like 8 hours feeling the intense love. And I remember that I realized, hey, I never felt love. And after the effect of the wind went away, I realized, bro, I have never felt love and I have never felt that love again. So I feel like little things with for a girl or for my family or for I don't know these meetings or for other things that I like. But the love that I felt that day was so intense that I realized like what the Bible says about love, like what Marley said about love. But that's something that I experienced that day, and the rest of the feeling of love have been very like superficial compared with that. So maybe the Course of Miracle wants us to feel like that intense love. It's just that for me, I find that the love that I feel usually is so like tiny compared with the love that I felt that night. So if you have any recommendations for someone to like really, you know, like feel the love and say, hey, this is love. Maybe it's not that intense, but I know that this is love, so I will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Thank you
first, do
so
you
much.
have
It
kids?
was the question.
Do you have kids?
No, not yet.
Do you have a dog, cat, any pets?
No.
So you may find a different type of love that is also equally as intense, but less possessive, almost, uh, less self-serving interest type of love. You know, so I think that you might find something different if you seek it. Now, if you believe, see what you're seeking is really to be right, that there is no other type of love, or you shouldn't have love like that, right? There's a judgment on how you felt that intense love that one time. Because usually when we feel an intense love, it's really specialness. We have our hearts broken, you know, because we gave it away, implying that we didn't have it. That's why we needed it from this person. So there's a specialness that happens. Now, the Course says love is not what you're seeking because it's beyond what can be taught. I can't teach it to you. I can't tell it to you. You can't see it. You can't hear it. It needs to be experienced, but the only way to experience it is to seek out all the barriers inside yourself that you have built against love. So even in the statements that you made, you were building something against love. Okay, the love that is beyond what you can even imagine. That love exists. However, we have built up so many judgments and all the other worldly laws or things that govern this world that we made up that represents what love is. Right? Love is all encompassing. That means can even like killing be encompassed in love. Right? There's so much. There's so much that we just don't know, that we can't experience love from truly a pure godly place. But our goal here is to seek out all the barriers that we have built against love. This is why we're studying the course. How have we been doing our relationships? How have we been in relationship with our Creator? How are we in relationship to our brothers and sisters? You know, can we love everybody equally? Or is it specialness that you're looking for? Right? I want to be special. I want to be. This is why it's so hard for people to be in everyone is tribally wired, but because of this wanting, this sense of specialness they want to feel, they want to stand out and create their own tribe or community. It's like playing a great role inside a community is the best way to stand out and to find clarity. Right, but a lot of people want to build their own things, which there's no problems with it, as long as your commitment is still to bind tribes together, to bring yourself in with other tribes, right? To see yourself, to be a big enough vision that other people can see their own vision inside yours, and then B, to bring your vision to another vision that is bigger that you can be inside that one. We're all tribe Earth. We're all tribe God. Except we've got so caught up in little tribes comparing back and forth that the unity isn't there. It's like the Course says, the waves of the ocean, the drop of the ocean is the wave of the ocean, except it got so caught up in itself being a little droplet of water that it's threatened by the rest of the ocean. But when you truly accept it, you are the ocean. Right? See, the ocean is not the drop, but the drop is the ocean. We are God or infinite intelligence. But God and infinite intelligence is not us. It's not me with a lowercase m. It's not this lowercase self that I've created to be separate from everything else. God is not that. But we are God. You guys see the distinction, the difference there? Okay. Hey, Adam, go ahead.
What's up, everybody?
What
I
up?
just wanted to say thank you for that share. It's actually been something that I've felt as well, and I asked myself the question, long ago. Where I had the external experience and relationship, shining back of like, okay, this is what love feels like, and a couple things that came up for me in that discovery is number one, something that Sadhguru actually said, and he talks about self-love, and he's like, people have heard me share this before in his accents and everything, and he's like, what is this self-love that way everybody speaks about? What are we, schizophrenic? He says, when we feel love for someone else, who feels the love? We feel the love, right? So like, I just felt compelled to share that, like, is there the experience of like, oh, I've never felt love. I would just ask for an inquiry, and I'm being with this. I just want to say thank you, and it popped up. Is if I'm not feeling love, what is it that I feel every day, all day long? What am I feeling? Can I label that? Can I make it a distinction? I am feeling angry. I am feeling sad. I am feeling whatever, because I just have a hard time processing that how a human being that's alive in this particular incarnation is anything other than, like you were sharing. You know, that it's all encompassing. It's everywhere all at once. And so I just wanted to kind of get a little insight, like what is it that gets felt when there isn't the experience of love? What am I? What are we feeling? And that's it. Just wanted to kind of share that insight that came from the brothers share there.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Anybody else want to add anything to that? We have about 1 more minute. I'll have Marianne do its thing.
No, I just wanted to share with Javier. I put it in the chat. I think that there's no way you've gone through this many years in your life without feeling love. I think maybe you just haven't recognized it because you've been using this experience and using it as a bar, measuring it against with something that was maybe like superficial, something that happened, and that judgment is clouding all the rest of the love that's in your life. But I could just tell from your presence and your share that you are love, and there's lots of love around you, all around you. Just my invitation to you is to let it in. You know, I tell people all the time, love the heart. There's only one way in, one way out. You know, and sometimes we try to protect ourselves because we've had experiences that kind of challenged us and made us a little gun shy. But when we try to protect ourselves, we're not just shutting out the bad. We're closing the door to all the goodness, all that yummy stuff. So I know that there's love all around you and that you are love. So just let it in, take it in, and know that you are loving and worthy of everything that of all the love that's around you. And take it in, and it'll find its way back in.
Awesome. Okay. So thank you everybody for your shares. I'm going to close this out with Marianne Williamson's a Year of Miracles. And let today be a new day for us in a new thinking and connecting to holiness, connecting to the ocean, right? To tribe earth. So day 1 of this book says the universe is conspiring in every moment to bring me happiness and peace. So that's what's happening. Stop fighting it. The universe is not random, but intentional. It reflects the will of God, the cosmic thought driving all things towards greater perfection. My ego mind, my own self-hatred masquerading as self-love, will point me always in the direction of fear, luring me towards the blaming thought, the attack or defense, the perception of guilt in myself or others. Its goal is my suffering or the hell of my own illusions. The spirit within leads only to joy, as it inspires me to see the love in everyone and the possibility of miracles that lie inherent in all things. The universe itself is the handwriting of God, as He constantly creates and recreates of the perfection that He is. Within the perfection, I have my true being, and within my true being, I am happy and at peace. Today, I will not be tempted to wander the byroads of pain, but rather I will set my feet upon the path of joy and peace. May the Spirit of God protect my mind from any forces of fear that would divert my thinking. May I not be deceived into false belief in the validity of guilt and attack, but rather may I be constantly uplifted to the divine perceptions of innocence and love, for there shall I experience the bliss of God's creation. Amen. Ho.
Amen.
By the way, I just picked up this book, which is the original edition of A Course in Miracles. It seems to be a lot thicker and bigger. So we'll see. And it's heavier. I don't know if less is more or more is less. I don't know. Or more is more. But okay, that's it. Happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Much blessings to everybody. Thank you all for being here and being a part of this satsang, this prayer. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Happy Sunday.
Good.